Yo, what's cracking everyone? Ericship 111 here. So a few months, there was a very interesting find within the Forza Horizon 4 game files in which there was a list of codes that were hidden or buried. These codes were essentially a list of cars that could possibly come into the game as the game's life continues. Now I know we have seen many leaks in the past, not just in Forza, but just games in general that really don't hold much value, as many of these leaks don't come to fruition, but the list that was discovered back in December does hold a lot of credibility. Cars like the Lamborghini Huracan Performante, the Lego Bugatti Chiron, all of the new Renaults were all on this list, even the McLaren Speedtail, and along with many more, and now all of those cars are currently in Forza Horizon 4, which at least shows me that the hundreds of car codes left in the game's hidden files are more than likely to come into the future. So let's focus more on the exciting cars that could possibly be coming into the game. Now I have done a video similar to this before, so all of those cars that were mentioned in this video won't be included here, as we look at 6 new cars that are currently buried or hidden in the Forza Horizon 4 game files. Starting off with number 1, the RAESR Tachyon Speed. What in the world is this? Well, it's an American built, that's right, in the USA, electric hypercar that essentially takes inspiration in its design from a jet fighter plane. The most noticeable adoption was the cockpit. Sitting in a tandem from the driver to the passenger, the entire car looks like it should be flying in the air instead of being limited to roads. So you might be asking, what's the specifications of this next generation Batmobile? Well, it makes over 1250 brake horsepower from 6 direct drive electric motors and pushes well over 3,500 pounds-feet of torque. All this in a car that weighs under 1400 kilogram, which may not seem very light to some, but remember, this car is all electric, and usually all electric cars are heavy due to the batteries they must carry. With stats such as a 0 to 60 time in under 3 seconds and a top speed of over 240 miles per hour, this car will definitely devour the Volkswagen IDR for breakfast, and although its current status in going into production is unknown, we want to try this Playground Games, and I honestly can't wait to see what it's like from the driver's point of view. Number 2, the Subaru Crosstrek Desert Racer. Now this is an exciting car that I would certainly love to see in Forza Horizon 4, and for one big reason, and that is just purely for its livery. Yes, I was a huge Subaru rally fan when I was a kid, and the blue and yellow combination is just so iconic that I would love to see an official livery on a car from Playground Games themselves. I mean, in one of the barn finds, Playground Games did include Subaru's famous WRC livery on its 22B. But apart from that, given the nature of the game, including another off-road car certainly will not hurt. Remember, these are just cars that are already in the game files and have yet to be released. So for all of you off-roading and buggy fans, this Crosstrek makes around 300 brake horsepower from a 2.5 litre 4-cylinder boxer engine with no turbos at all, which is very unique. And yes, I know we all love our supercars and hypercars, but sometimes a buggy like this is a welcome change. Number 3, the Ferrari 599 Formula Drift. To be honest, I'm not sure if we will ever get another Formula Drift car in Forza Horizon 4. Yes, we've had the RTR Mustangs arrive, but classed under the Formula Drift cars, I'm not too sure. But could this be classed as just a Ferrari, even though it's purely built to compete in the Formula Drift, starting its life as a Ferrari 599 GTB, which itself is quite spectacular? The entire car was completely stripped down to implement modifications that would make the 599 competitive in drifting. This included a new wide body kit, a range of handling modifications, and also 2 superchargers added on the existing V12 engine. Unfortunately, this 599 Formula Drift didn't live very long as it caught on fire in its very first Formula Drift event, colliding with another car which caused damage towards the fuel line. Thankfully, everyone involved was okay, but perhaps out of respect to the driver and everyone involved working on the car, Playground Games may not include this car in the game. However, putting the 599 Formula Drift will not only spice up the current lineup of drift cars in the game, but also allow us players to continue the legacy of this unique machine. Number 4, the Mercedes-Benz SLR Stirling Moss. Here is an old favourite for all you Forza Motorsport fans who have played the series back on the Xbox 360, with the increasing number of returning cars from the previous generation like the BMW M3 GTR, Mazda RX-7 Spirit A, and the open-top Hummer, just to name a few. It's not surprising that the Stirling Moss would be on this list, as Playground Games have debuted a number of Mercedes in Forza Horizon 4 that are new to the franchise as well. What I love about the SLR Stirling Moss is the unique design it carries and the story behind it. Built to pay tribute to the legendary Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR, which was a race car that had won many events during the 1950s, including victories with Stirling Moss himself behind the wheel too. So that means that this car had to be quick, producing 650 brake horsepower from a 5.4 litre supercharged V8. The SLR could reach over 200 miles per hour, which was immensely quick for a car that's over a decade old. I would love to get my hands on this Mercedes, not back on Forza Motorsport 4, but rather in Forza Horizon 4. Number 5, the Ferrari 488 Challenge. Recently, Playground Games added the Ferrari 488 Pista, which was a much more hardcore version of the Ferrari 488 GTB. But what's one above the Pista? Well, it's the 488 Challenge. This is essentially for Ferrari customers or enthusiasts that want to take part in Ferrari's own one-make series, which don't have any external regulations to abide by except build 488s that are race ready within their own rulebook. Now, the last time we ever saw a challenge Ferrari was back in Forza Motorsport 4, which was the Ferrari 458 Challenge. So I don't see why this car wouldn't eventually be a festival playlist reward sometime down in the future. Also, given that Forza Horizon 4 doesn't actually have real racing cars like it did back in Horizon 3, this would be its closest motorsport alternative, where licensing this car would just be up to Ferrari themselves. Producing 670 brake horsepower, which is lower than the Pista, its extensive aero additions and weight saving makes it a lot quicker around a circuit. Number 6, the Savage Rivale Road Yacht GTS. Dubbed as the world's first 4-door convertible supercar, it certainly looks very unique. Although not much is known about this car, it sits in a class of its own, as till this day no manufacturer has ever morphed a saloon, supercar and convertible, as perhaps is too much of a gamble for the likes of Lamborghini, Ferrari or McLaren. Built with very strong and lightweight materials such as carbon fiber and aluminium, it's also got a full working luxury interior to feel joy and comfort. Powered by a 6.2 litre V8 taken from a Corvette, it produces 670 brake horsepower, which launches from 0 to 60 in just 3.4 seconds. Not bad for a sedan that can take its roof off. In all honesty, there are so many more of these niche supercars out there in the world that we don't know about, as it's not a mainstream vehicle, but if Forza Horizon 4 and Playground Games can give them this platform to bring their cars into the game, who knows, maybe a video game can help push a new manufacturer to superstardom. So there we have it guys, 6 more new exciting cars that are still currently buried within the game files of Forza Horizon 4. Let me know which one is your favorite car from this entire list. If you want to check out the full leaked list, I'll put a link to that article down in the description below, so make sure to check that out. And also, if you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure to smash the thumbs up button. That would really help me out. And also, if you guys would like to see more Forza Horizon 4 content right here on this channel, make sure to click the subscribe button with notifications turned on. That way you won't ever miss out on another video that goes live. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.